All right, welcome back, everybody, to the How to Turn Goals into Achievement podcast. I am your host, Andres Ruiz, motivational speaker and life coach. And today I have a very special guest. I'm actually going to put this a little bit. There we go. We have a very special guest, Julie Festerling. Am I saying that right?
That's right.
Yeah, because I'm trying to butcher the name. So I have Julie here on the show, and I'm really blessed to have her on the show. I met Julie like about a year ago, maybe.
I think it was last year.
Last year, I
National
know.
Distracted Driving
There you go.
Awareness
Nice.
Month
I love
last
it.
year.
Yeah. So I met her, and her story is so powerful. And we even had coffee the other day. We had a good time, good talk. And then I told her, you know what? I'd like to have you on my podcast because you have such an inspirational story. I mean, just a lot of the things that you're doing are really inspiring. So I wanted to have her on the show. And, you know, so I have her here, and she is the founder of this amazing organization that's called Phones Down, Just Drive. Oh, yeah, let me see that. Yeah, this is cool. Yeah, look, boom. Yeah, it's the law. Yeah, it's the law. Yeah, so, and this is very powerful stuff. We really need to understand this. And I myself have been guilty before of doing this. And ever since I met Julie, like, it's definitely helped me to be more aware. And also I tell the youth, hey, don't get a ticket because it's like worth like a PS5 or whatever. It's very, so I want to ask you, Julie, I always like to have the guests kind of like talk about themselves a little bit, kind of like, you know, brag about themselves, because I think it's important that we brag about ourselves sometimes. That's my opinion.
Because we believe in ourselves.
We believe in ourselves. Boom, there we go.
Órale.
I love it. Órale. Hey, and plus, she's from Nogales, right? You're from Nogales?
Sí, soy de Nogales.
Es de Nogales. Yo también me quedé, wow, okay. Órale.
Por eso estamos aquí juntos. ¿Verdad?
Ándale, yeah. When she started speaking Spanish, me quedé, okay, cool. Mírala. Okay.
What?
Ándale. No, but Julie, so I always like to have my guests kind of like brag about themselves. So I want to ask you, like, if I were to ask you, what would you say is your superpower? Like, your gift, your skill set that you have?
Oh, wow, that's a good question. Superpower. Well, I really like to help people.
Okay.
So I think that that would be it. And God has given me the energy to stay busy and to have the desire to get out there and help people. He's given me that that energy to be energized and get out there and just really go the extra mile and just, you know, God first, family second, and help the world go round. That's what it is.
Love it. Yeah, and that just helping people. And we were just talking about that before we even went on live. Just the power about helping people and how it comes back to you. And I think, like, you do have a servant heart, because I've seen you and you're doing so much for others, and it just shows the energy that it gives you by serving others. So that's really cool to see that, and I appreciate that about you. But yeah, you're welcome. And so just kind of like tell us a little bit about, you know, what, you know, this Phones Down, Just Drive. I know this was inspired by something that happened in your life, unfortunately, something that was you know, very tragic. But tell us what happened, and then tell us, like, you know, how that inspired you to get this started, this nonprofit. Okay. Tell us about that, please.
So in 2019, actually it was on November 13th, 2019, my daughter, who was 21 at the time, and her boyfriend, who was 22, were just driving. They had just gotten done shopping. He had just won a trip to Vegas at his work. He worked at CarMax, and he had just won like the Employee of the Year award, and they were going to Vegas for him to get this award. And they had just gone shopping to buy the fun clothes and all that Vegas stuff, you know. And anyway, so they stopped by my house. They dropped off their bags, and she was taking them home, dropping them off at home, and then she had to get to work. So it was about 3:40 in the afternoon. They stopped to make a left-hand turn. She had her turn signal on, and they were rear-ended by a lady who just wasn't paying attention. She was speeding. She was going 53 miles an hour, never hit the brakes, rear-ended the kids, pushed them into oncoming traffic where a big, large pickup truck hit them. Unfortunately, both kids did not survive the crash. They both died at the scene of the crash there. So we learned from that we are not invincible. This is something we never thought this would happen to our
Right?
family.
Yeah.
You know, I said goodbye to my daughter that morning. I said, I love you. I'm taking your little sister to school. That was at 8 o'clock in the morning. And when I said goodbye, I did not know that was a forever goodbye. You know, she was, you know, if I would have known I was never going to see my daughter again, I probably would have gone and given her a hug and definitely handled that morning a lot differently.
Yeah, absolutely. Wow.
So anyway, that is the pain that our family had to deal with. My son and I went to the crash site that night, not knowing what we were driving up to. You know, we drive up and there's all the emergency vehicles, the lights, the horrible. Nobody wants to deal with that.
Yeah.
No, I don't wish that on my worst enemy to have to ever deal with something like that. But anyway, my son and I, we dealt with the authorities that night. They informed us of what had happened, and I mean, it's just very life changing. From that moment forward, it changes your life forever. So anyway, my daughter's name is Caitlin Festerling, the one who passed away, and her boyfriend is Paul Garcia. So Paul's mom and I had volunteered on another board for another nonprofit in town that also focuses on distracted driving. But they're a little more focused with bicycles, and neither one of us rode bicycles, so it really wasn't our cup of tea, but I still do help them out sometimes. I go to events. I'm no longer a board member with them, but I still do help with this other organization because I think both of us are stronger working together, and instead of doing our own thing, it's good when we can support each other.
I love that. Yeah. Thank you for sharing that, and thank you for just being so vulnerable and so willing to share your daughter's story, because, you know, as I'm listening to this, like, I mean, I feel the pain, you know, just like thinking about, me too. I mean, the chills, and just thinking about it, and then just thinking about myself, and thank you for sharing that, because now people can also see for themselves, like, did I say goodbye to my family in a good way, in a way where I'm really going to appreciate them, because I know we do sometimes just take life for granted. Like, we wake up and we're just like, hey, all right, see you guys later, and you just never know. Could that be? You don't know.
You don't know.
You know?
And one thing I love about the Mexican culture and the language is, like, adios. You don't really say adios. You say hasta luego. See you next time, or until next time. And that's how we really should be treating life. You know, when you walk away from someone, end that on a happy note, because you don't know if you'll see them again.
Right.
You know, just life happens, and it's just how it is. Yeah.
It is, yeah. So, you know, as you were just sharing your story, I think it also helps other people, not only with the awareness of distracted driving, but also the awareness of the relationships that they have with their families. Because, I mean, what are your thoughts about that? Like, you know, just thinking about bringing more awareness to the relationships. What kind of, comments have you gotten from people ever since you started, phones down, just drive? Like, has anybody told you anything about their experiences or anything like that?
They do. It's amazing. So we're on Facebook. We do have a website, and we have people reach out to us a lot and say, your story is similar to our story.
Wow.
The crash happened in Oro Valley, and it's been really interesting to have a ton of Oro Valley families reach out to us and say, hey, we also had a similar incident happen in Oro Valley. We also were not notified when our loved one was in a crash. Or, you know, it's good to have that support to see how other people dealt with the situations. And you just feel like you're not alone, and you can better understand why things are happening the way they're happening, the way the courts are handling things, the way the first responders are handling things. And a lot of times, maybe that's just how they became accustomed to handling things, but maybe there's a better way to handle it. And that's where we learn from each other. How can we work with authorities to maybe make things easier on families when they go through these kinds of situations?
I love that. Yeah.
And then with the nonprofit, people come to the home shows and they tell us stories. We meet all these.
Good morning, the exhibitors. Just a
That's so
reminder,
powerful.
if you have a car parked in the south
We have a
fire
reminder.
lane, please
Okay, so-
remove your vehicle and go to the Ramada on Cushing. Also, if you are parked in a dirt lot behind the TCC TCC that is not owned by the TCC.
This is the break. This is the commercial
you are
break. So
subject to
they're
towing
announcing the
and
commercials
ticketing.
that there's a car
So
in the
please,
south.
if you are parked in that dirt parking lot, please remove your vehicle.
That's what I love about
Thank
like
you.
Facebook Live. You get used to it, where you're like, it doesn't have to be perfect. It's like,
It's
and it's real. It's like perfect doesn't exist. And if somebody tells you they're perfect, then you run the other way. But
and we have tickets to the home show, since they kind
okay.
of
Yeah,
mentioned that we have free tickets if anyone wants to come down here.
there you go. Yeah, how can people? Do they just need to come out here, or how does that work? Just tell them.
If they can come down here, go to Will Call, and you can just mention that Phones Down Just Drive has some free tickets for you, and they'll share those with you.
Boom, let's go. Nice.
If
So there
for
you have
some
it.
reason they say they don't have them, then just come talk to Julie or have them reach out to me in the Phones Down Just Drive through.
And it's at the TCC, by the way, just in case you don't know where we're at. But this is really cool. I was really excited to walk in. I was like, okay, this looks really, really awesome. But getting back to your story and how you talked about how other people shared their story, and what I love that you're doing is you're building community. You're bringing people together that didn't have an outlet to speak out about it and to say anything about it, maybe because they felt like they were alone. And that's what happens a lot in life, is when somebody goes through a tragedy, they feel like they're the only ones that have gone through that. But really, there's a lot of people that are going through that. So I really believe that what you're doing is you're not only bringing community, you're bringing awareness, you're building relationships. So this is much bigger than just telling people put your phone down. It's like, pay attention, have more awareness of the relationships, that there's other people out there. You're not alone. You don't have to struggle with this alone. There's support systems out there. So that's what I really love about your organization. So tell us about how, when did you decide to start this nonprofit? Was it right after the accident, or did you have to, I'm guessing you probably had to just take a break from everything. Yeah. What happened? Tell me, when did it start?
So, everything was just a real shocker. Oh my goodness, what do you do next? I had never planned a funeral before. I had never had to make those decisions before.
Yeah.
So obviously that was the first thing we needed to decide was what do we do next? Let's lay the two children to rest, and then moving forward from that. We did get involved with this other nonprofit, and we found that really helped us. Take the pain and give it a purpose. Turn the pain into purpose. That's kind of our tagline. Turn the pain into purpose. So when we do some of our other events...
I don't do that, but I love it. I'll do it now.
Do it now. Start with yours, right? So when we do outdoor events, we have a tent that we put up, and it has the Phones Down Just Drive logo, and it says turning pain into purpose.
Love it.
And that's not just for us, that's not just for me and for Paul's mom, but it's for anyone who has experienced something like this.
Absolutely.
So we had gotten involved with that other organization, and that was great. But then we just felt like we needed to do something more, just cell phones, just driving. And that's when we started this. So coming up on April 24th will be our 2-year anniversary for Phones Down Just Drive. So we're still kind of new. We're the new kids on the block. But we have a long ways to go. Mothers Against Drunk Driving started somewhere, right?
Exactly.
Yes. So we have some mentors that we are working with in the community. If you've heard of SCORE, SCORE has worked with us. They've provided a mentor. Also, the Center for Healthy Nonprofits has also given us a grant where they are working with us. They provided a mentor. So I feel like we're going in the right direction. We have the right people plugged in and helping us.
Yeah.
We have a board. Our board is only 3 members right now.
Okay.
I'm the president. We have a secretary. We have a treasurer. But this year, our next step is to grow the board.
Okay.
So next would be we'd like to get 2 more board members, get up to 5, and then we would grow to 7.
Love it. Good stuff.
Yeah. So if anyone, and then we need volunteers. If people have a servant's heart and they just want to help, you don't necessarily have to be a board member. You can just be a volunteer, not just, but.
Yeah. So what would volunteering be? What would that look like for anybody that's interested in volunteering?
volunteering would be helping us out at our different events. We do the home show every fall, every spring. Saba is just so amazing to us to gift us the booth to help us get our message out. I've been involved with Saba for about 13 years.
Okay.
Usually more for business, just with companies I've worked for. We've always had we love to support Saba. So now they're giving back to us, and I appreciate it. But then we also do parades. We usually do the light parade, the downtown light parade in December. That one is super fun. And I think about 30,000 people came out to watch it.
Really? Wow.
Yes. So we need people to come either ride on the float, walk alongside, pass out flyers, candy, stuff like that. We do the Pets of Pima County parade. Several of us have basset hounds.
Okay.
Just my friends, we have like a basset hound community. So people bring their dogs. The bassets are adorable. But we need people to walk in parades, do that. We did the Marana Founders Parade.
Okay.
Then just booths around town. We do some car shows. We do the Top Golf Crown Concepts car meet twice a year, April and November.
Nice.
We get into schools. If you have any connections to get us into schools to talk to students, Monday and Tuesday I'll be at Marana High School talking to students.
Cool.
And I partnered with DPS, Department of Public Safety. We will be in there talking together.
That's awesome.
We're also going to Sahuarita High School. So those are some of the things we're doing. If anyone wants to get involved with any of that, we would love it. Time, talents, treasures. That's what we are after.
Triple T. Yep. I love
Triple
it.
T.
Attention, ladies and gentlemen. Attention, ladies and gentlemen. Showtime is 9:15. 9:15.
All right, so 9:15. All right.
9:15. Show starts at 10. If anyone
Show starts at 10. So yeah, show starts at 10. Come on out, support Julie. She's an amazing human being. She is definitely a servant, and she has amazing energy. Like every time that I get with her, she always has a big smile and just always a really good attitude. And so, tell us about like what's next for for your nonprofit. Like,
so what's next is like I kind of started to touch on board members. We want to grow the board. We need to get out there doing more grant writing.
Okay.
So if people have experience with that, we would love to bring you on board with that.
Excellent.
So it's really doing fundraising, grant writing, and raising awareness, which is education, getting signage out there. A lot of people don't know it's against the law to hold or manipulate your cell phone with driving. They don't know because we're not getting the message out there.
Yeah.
And even when we do get the message out there, they're just ignoring it because I guess we're not shouting it loud enough, maybe?
Yeah.
I don't know. We need to shout louder or just get it out there more
Yeah.
frequently or more visibility.
Excellent.
So
Yeah.
that's our next step is raise funds to be able to support raising awareness.
I love it. And then just to close things out, how can people reach you? And again, mention how can people support you? I know you said they can volunteer, they can be aboard, they can do grant writing. Tell us anything else that you missed out, that you missed on.
I'm just going to reach behind you right
Excellent.
here.
Yeah, go for it.
The best way to get a hold of us is really Facebook. Go on Facebook, Phones Down Just Drive. We have a page on there. Or reach out to me personally. I'll give my phone number. You can text me, call me. It's 520-307-1013. If you want to donate to the organization, we love cash. Cash is king. Here's a QR code. You can always just scan the QR code right there.
There you go.
And with that links right up to where you can donate through the credit card company. We do have a credit card processing company that links to, and then funds are directly deposited into the bank account for the nonprofit at the credit union.
Yes.
Something else we have going on for April.
Oh yeah, I
is
gotta get my 20 chocolate bars.
chocolates.
Yeah.
And we have sold almost 6 boxes so far.
Okay.
So that's pretty
I'll
awesome.
be getting
I know
mine.
what you want. They're only $1 each.
Well,
You can go
I'm
to
getting
gas
20. These are honestly, I've been eating these since I was like, I can't remember, but I love these. So I'm gonna get some of these.
They're the best. So my oldest daughter, Caitlin, used to have to sell these for orchestra when she was in junior high. She
Yeah.
played the violin, and she was usually one of the top salespeople with these.
I wonder why. Because you're the sales queen. That's why.
Her mom and dad are both in sales, so it's
That's why.
inevitable. It's
Yeah.
in her blood.
So I'm taking some of these. But yeah, so yeah, if you guys want to support, and these chocolates are the bomb, honestly. Like, look at that. I like the almond. Actually, I don't discriminate. I love them all, honestly. So.
I like the wafer and the crisp.
Oh,
And the
really? Yeah,
almond.
me
And the caramel.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to take a bunch of these. Okay, yeah, so I'm gonna take my 20 bars, but if you guys are interested, please reach out to her. And then there's information right there if you want to scan that barcode, send some money to her way, or buy some chocolates. Buy some chocolates for your mama, for your dad, for your...
Oh, Mother's Day is coming up.
Oh yeah, Mother's Day.
Oh, be
Okay,
sweet to
all right,
your
Mom,
mama.
be ready. You're gonna get some bars here. But yeah, so just please support Julie. She's very supportive. She's very kind, and like I said, she has a very powerful mission because of what happened to her family. But I feel like the mission is much more bigger, and it's gotten bigger, and I can't wait to see it grow more and more. So I just want to say thank you again, Julie, for your time. I appreciate you for being on the show. And I also appreciate you watching, and we will be seeing you on the next The Blueprint on How to Turn Goals into Achievement podcast for entrepreneurs. Have a great day. Peace.
Have a great day.
Bye.
Thank you.